What you don't know about Princess Leonor and Prince Christian relationship. Imagine a young royal couple the world can't stop watching. Spain's radiant Princess Leonor and Denmark's charming Prince Christian, two heirs born into different monarchies but bound by the same destiny, to lead, to love, and to represent the future of European royalty. But what if I told you that their connection goes far beyond official smiles and diplomatic courtesy? What if what the cameras capture is only the surface of a story that runs much deeper than anyone dares to say aloud? Because behind every royal appearance, every subtle glance, and every word exchanged between Leonor and Christian, lies a truth that could redefine the future of both Spain and Denmark. And today, we uncover what the world doesn't know about Princess Leonor and Prince Christian's relationship. From their first private encounter to the moments the palace tried to keep secret, this story isn't just about love, it's about legacy, duty, and the silent bond between two future monarchs who may be walking towards something much greater than either imagined. Let's begin at the beginning. Princess Leonor of Spain, poised, intelligent, and already carrying the weight of a crown she will one day wear. Her every movement is watched, analyzed, and praised as she blossoms from Spain's beloved princess into a woman the world can't take its eyes off. Prince Christian of Denmark, handsome, confident, yet deeply private. The future king of Denmark has grown up under similar pressures, learning the delicate balance between royal tradition and modern life. Their paths crossed not in a fairy tale ballroom, but through the quiet corridors of royal diplomacy. During a state visit where Spain and Denmark sought to strengthen ties, their families met formally. But those who were present that day say the spark between Leonor and Christian was undeniable, an instant, quiet understanding that only those born into their world could ever truly feel. At first, it was subtle, shared smiles, polite words, the respectful nods between two young royals raised under the world's watchful eye. But the connection deepened over time. It began with friendship, built on common values and shared burdens. They exchanged messages, occasional calls, and private meetings during international royal gatherings. But as their friendship grew, so did the whispers. European tabloids began linking their names, speculating about a young royal romance that could unite two of Europe's oldest dynasties. At first, both royal houses dismissed it as mere fantasy. But behind the scenes, palace advisors were paying attention. Because a union between Princess Leonor and Prince Christian would not only capture the world's imagination, it would symbolize a powerful new era of European unity. Two young monarchs from neighboring nations, both modern, educated, and deeply admired, standing side by side as symbols of the next generation of royalty. And yet, not everyone was thrilled by the idea. Inside the Spanish royal household, Queen Letizia, fiercely protective of her daughter, reportedly grew cautious. She wanted Leonor to experience life freely, to build her own path before being tied to anyone, especially another royal with equal obligations. King Felipe, on the other hand, is said to view Christian as a worthy match, a young man with dignity, education, and a strong sense of duty. Across the north, Queen Margrethe of Denmark and Crown Princess Mary are believed to have had similar discussions, careful, quiet conversations about the possibility of their son's future and the international attention such a union would attract. But beyond the royal politics, what's truly fascinating is how Leonor and Christian themselves have handled this growing speculation. Unlike many of their peers, they've shown remarkable maturity. Both continue to focus on their education, royal duties, and public service, rarely commenting on their personal lives. But their shared appearances, small, rare, yet deeply telling, suggest a bond that's difficult to ignore. In one event in Oslo, witnesses described how Christian's gaze followed Leonor as she entered the room, elegant and composed in her signature blue gown. The air shifted. Cameras caught only moments, but those moments fueled endless discussions among royal watchers. And when the two exchanged a few quiet words during the reception, those who observed them said the connection was unmistakable. Yet behind the grace and smiles lies an undeniable challenge. Both are heirs to their respective thrones. Any romantic involvement must navigate centuries of royal tradition, national expectations, and the complex web of European diplomacy. It's not just about love, it's about timing, image, and destiny. For Leonor, the question has always been, Can she truly choose love freely, or must her heart align with the crown? For Christian, the challenge is equally heavy. How do you pursue affection when every move could become international news? But the world has changed. Royals of today are not bound by the same rigid rules of the past. Look at Crown Princess Mary of Denmark, a commoner who won the heart of a prince. Or Queen Letizia of Spain, once a journalist who became one of Europe's most admired queens. Their stories prove that love can indeed rewrite royal expectations. And perhaps, that's where Leonor and Christian's story truly begins. Because beyond the titles, the palaces, and the pressures, they are two young people growing up in a world that demands perfection while quietly yearning for authenticity. In their rare interactions, there's something genuine, something untouched by the stage-managed world of monarchy. A shared glance that says, "I understand." A smile that carries the weight of mutual understanding. That connection, quiet yet powerful, might be what keeps drawing them together even across borders. But what happens next? That's the question gripping royal enthusiasts worldwide. Will they pursue this connection? Or will duty eventually pull them apart? If they were to marry one day, it would be one of the most extraordinary unions in modern royal history, joining Spain's Bourbon bloodline with Denmark's centuries-old monarchy. It would symbolize a new generation of cooperation and modernity within Europe's royal families. But if fate leads them down separate paths, their connection will still remain a fascinating chapter in royal history, one built not on scandal, but on respect, admiration, and shared destiny. One palace insider reportedly said, "They mirror each other. Both are calm, grounded, and aware of the life they've inherited. It's not a teenage crush, it's understanding." And that might be why so many people believe that, no matter what, their story isn't over yet. Because sometimes, royal stories aren't just about crowns and ceremonies, they're about hearts learning to navigate the boundaries of tradition and personal truth. Princess Leonor and Prince Christian may never publicly define what they share. But in every interaction, in every whispered moment between two heirs who represent the future of Europe, there's something undeniably real, something that speaks to the quiet, unspoken side of royalty. And maybe, that's what the world doesn't know. Not everything royal must be declared or displayed. Some of the most powerful connections happen in silence, in the glances unseen by cameras, in the moments history almost forgets, but the heart never does. So as the world watches and wonders, one question remains: is this the story of two young monarchs destined to shape Europe's future together, or a fleeting moment of connection before destiny pulls them apart? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: what Leonor and Christian share, whatever it truly is, has already left its mark on royal history.